At the age of 22, McLaren driver Lando Norris is already a top-ranked racer and the fourth highest-paid driver on the grid. And despite only being in his fourth year as an F1 driver, Lap Lando, as he's also known, is already regarded as one of the fastest drivers on the grid, earning the praises of Formula One legends after completely overshadowing veteran teammate Daniel Ricciardo in the 2021 and 2022 season thus far. And for a driver who is adored by the majority of F1 fans and even drivers, he has earned the praise and wrath of his colleagues. So in today's video, we'll see what current F1 drivers think of him. Fernando Alonso. Two-time world champion Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris's relationship dates back to Fernando's time at McLaren. At the time, 18-year-old Lando Norris, who was a reserve driver, was mentored by Fernando. The pair even became teammates at the Daytona 24 Hours in 2018, but he later replaced Fernando Alonso in McLaren's driver lineup for the 2019 season. Both drivers remained in contact with each other even when the Spaniard took a two-season absence from F1, and during his comeback season in 2021, they both exchanged helmets at the 2021 Austrian Grand Prix after Lando took pole position for the first time in his F1 career and then finished third at the race, equaling his career best at the time. Fernando Alonso, who exchanged helmet with the British driver, wrote, "You're a star, a rock star. Best of luck for the future, Lando," on his helmet. Alex Albon. Another member of the Twitch quartet who happened to have known Lando Norris from their go-karting days. Alex Albon, like Lando Norris, is a British driver who competed in Formula 2 with Lando before being promoted to Formula 1 in 2019. The pair have even been seen golfing with Charles Leclerc during the off-seasons and after pre-season testing. When the now Williams driver was asked about his relationship with Lando Norris, he explained that they've known each other since they were both 12-year-olds, a relationship that dates back to their karting days. Today, the pair have become so close and share a tight bond. He further explained that although they're competing against each other, their friendship remains strong. When he was asked if their relationship changes when they're on the track, Albon said, "That's the thing. We are friends, we enjoy each other's company, and we love bantering and winding each other up. Once it comes to the racing side, it's kind of like everyone's their own man. Once the helmet's on, you park that friendship away. But you still have the respect, and you know that when the helmet's off, that you're still friends again." Lando Norris will be hoping to improve on his 6th place finish in the driver's standings last season, as he's currently 7th. Also, with F1 being a competitive sport, the young British driver will be hoping to outperform his peers on the grid and possibly win a race this season. Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris once stated that he looked up to Lewis Hamilton, and some F1 fans have even dubbed him the next Hamilton. However, the young driver has repeatedly clashed with the 7-time world champion, often criticizing him. Their back and forth dates back to 2019 when Lewis Hamilton took a dig at young drivers in Formula 1, including Lando Norris, when he suggested that F1 is a lot easier for them. Also, back in 2020, after Lewis Hamilton broke Michael Schumacher's record for the most career victories at the 2020 Portuguese Grand Prix with his 92nd win in Formula 1, Lando simply disregarded the achievement, stating that Lewis Hamilton had it easy because of the dominance of his car. Later, at the 2022 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Lando came under fire for deciding not to overtake Hamilton, who was driving slowly against a target time during qualifying. His actions subsequently led to Lewis Hamilton getting investigated by the stewards. However, despite their digs and banter, Lewis Hamilton has always heaped praise on his fellow British driver, and notably called him a great driver at the 2021 Austrian Grand Prix after Lando finished third. Also, during the qualifying session at the 2021 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, a disappointed Lando Norris received a message of support from Lewis Hamilton after the young McLaren driver finished P7 after being found to have transgressed the track limits rules. He took to Instagram to express his disappointment, and Lewis Hamilton replied to him saying, "Nobody can knock you for giving it your all. Amazing lap, it's great to see you and the team shine. Move on, let's race." Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, who's presently at the Ferrari racing team, spent 2 seasons with McLaren after he left the Renault racing team to replace Fernando Alonso for the 2019 season and partner a rookie Lando Norris. He enjoyed some success with the McLaren team, securing his 2 podium finishes, one at the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix and the 2020 Italian Grand Prix. However, before Carlos made his way to Ferrari to form a partnership with Charles Leclerc, both Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris were so close that they were known as Carlando. Their relationship on and off the track was regarded as one of the most well-known friendship duos in the Formula 1 paddock. But before they became best of friends, they initially hated each other. Sometimes you might try to hide it. Even with me and Carlos, we hated each other a lot. You don't want to be beaten by your teammate, and you don't want to look bad against him. He's the last one you want to lose to. But things eventually changed between the pair as they got to know each other more. When Carlos Sainz was asked about his relationship with Lando off the track, he said, "We're both enjoying it. We came into the team with the same philosophy of let's help between you and me to move this team forward. It comes naturally to get on well with a guy like him. We're just enjoying the year, making sure together we put positive energy into the team." Even after Carlos left for Ferrari, the pair have remained good friends and are often seen chatting before races and even playing golf together during their free time. Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris have a relationship dating back to Formula 2 when they used to race against each other. The pair later maintained their relationship when they got promoted to Formula 1 and even spent the lockdown playing a lot of video games with Alex Albon and George Russell. They even streamed these games on the live video streaming service Twitch. However, on track, despite racing for different teams, they've shown respect to each other and have even empathized with each other, and this was evident at the 2021 Russian Grand Prix. At the race at the Sochi circuit, Lando, who started from pole position, decided to finish the race on slicks despite the heavy outpour of rain, and subsequently went off and was forced to pit later on, which later caused him to finish at P7. An empathetic Leclerc said, "I can imagine what he's feeling because he's also part of the decision process in those types of situations, and he might feel very, very guilty, but he's an amazing driver. I think he's shown it very often this season." Daniel Ricciardo. In a Netflix docuseries titled Drive to Survive, the relationship between Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris was examined, with the series portraying their relationship as an unhealthy one, where both drivers were rivals rather than the great friends they often appeared to be. However, Ricciardo later addressed the situation, stating that both of them were not best of friends immediately after he joined McLaren from Renault, but throughout their partnership, they built a good relationship. The Australian driver said, "I felt like a lot of people probably wanted us to be best friends from day one, and it was something that we couldn't really force, and it did take a bit of time to really create a good relationship. But in saying that, there wasn't tension or anything. It was just that we were trying to figure each other out. Currently, where I sit today, I think we have a very good relationship." When he was asked about their relationship, he even joked saying, "I would say it's complicated. We're not married, but it's like we are thinking about marriage, I guess." The Australian driver has also heaped praises on his teammate and stated that despite his challenges this 2022 season, he's taking a lot of positives from seeing what Lando has been doing so far. After Lando Norris made a podium finish at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, the Australian said, "Obviously, his race was completely different to mine, as different as it can be, so there's optimism in that." If you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is worth your time.